It's 1997. Airbud is in theaters. You're eating a Domino's pizza and drinking some Mountain Dew with three of your friends and playing Mario Kart 64.
And today, that's what we're talking about.
Mario Kart 64 is the second game in the Mario Kart franchise, with the original coming out on August 27th, 1992 for the Super Nintendo and only being 2 players. Let's get right into it and talk about the packaging. The box shows what accessories are compatible with the game and how many players. Inside the box is the manual and the game cartridge. Now, if you were paying really close attention in the beginning, you may have noticed that my game cartridge looks different than the one I just showed on screen. That is because my cartridge is for the Japanese version of the game. Next up is the game modes, starting off with Grand Prix. In Grand Prix, you pick one of 4 cups, each cup consisting of 4 races, and race with 8 computer-controlled players. You have to get within the top 4 in every race, or else you're out. Next up is time trials. You pick one of the 16 courses in the game and try to beat it as fast as you can. You can do it with any character, and you start with 3 mushrooms to help you get the fastest time possible. My favorite course to time trial is actually Luigi Raceway. I actually have a secret playlist of my best times on Luigi Raceway hidden somewhere here on my channel. Go check it out. Next up is Battle Mode, where you and up to 4 of your friends duke it out in balloon battles, where you have to pop your opponent's balloons and be the last man standing. There's a variety of maps to choose from, including a skyscraper, a big donut, and a colorful raceway. There's also versus mode, but that's just Grand Prix again, but with multiplayer. So I'm not going to talk about that. That's boring. Next up is the courses. There's 4 cups, each with 4 courses. There's the Mushroom, Flower, Star, and Special Cup, and we're starting with the Mushroom Cup. The Mushroom Cup has Luigi's Raceway, Moo Moo Farm, Koopa Troopa Beach, and Calamari Desert. Next up is the Flower Cup. The Flower Cup has Toad's Turnpike, Frappe Snowland, Choco Mountain, and Mario Raceway. Next up is the Star Cup. The Star Cup has Wario Stadium, Sherbert Land, Royal Raceway, and Bowser's Castle. And last but certainly not least, the Special Cup. The Special Cup has DK's Jungle Parkway, Yoshi Valley, Banshee Boardwalk, and Rainbow Road. Overall, the selection of courses has a ton to pick from. From deserts with trains to places up above the stars, you can really race anywhere. My top 3 are Luigi Raceway, Calamari Desert, and Rainbow Road. I really like how Rainbow Road kind of feels like a credit sequence for the game with how long it is. Anyways, let's get on to the racers. There's 3 kinds of racers: speedsters, all-rounders, and heavyweights. Let's start off with the speedsters. The speedsters are Toad, Yoshi, and Peach. They have a high speed but low weight stat, meaning they can go fast, but they'll get knocked around by larger racers. Next up is the all-rounders, Mario and Luigi. These racers are pretty average. Nothing special at all, really. They have average speed, weight, and turning, making them good for beginners, but outclassed by faster and heavier characters. And finally, the heavyweights: Bowser, Donkey Kong, and Wario. These racers have a low top speed, but weigh a ton, making them great for pushing other racers off of the course. When I'm playing the game, I tend to stick with the speedsters, because even though they weigh less and can be knocked off of courses a lot more easily than all the other racers, with their speed bonus, you can get miles ahead of the competition where it won't be a worry. My favorite character out of them is Toad, but that's just because Toad is my favorite Mario character. Next up is the items, starting with the banana. The banana you throw behind you or in front of you, or you can use it to block incoming items. If you run into it, you spin out. There's different kinds, 1 up to 5. They're really nothing special. Next up is the green shell. The green shell is a projectile that you shoot forwards and bounces around the track. It doesn't really go anywhere specific, it just kind of bounces around. You can get 1 green shell or 3 green shells. Next up is the red shell. The red shell is like the green shell, but it's a homing shell, which means it tracks on to the player in front of you and hunts them down. It also comes in the 1 and 3 variety. Next up is the fake item block. This block looks like an item block, but with an upside down question mark. And if you run into it, you're in for a bad time. It kicks you upwards into the air, making you fall behind all the other racers. Next up is the lightning bolt. The lightning bolt shrinks down your opponents and makes them able to be ran over by any other racer. Shrinking them down also slows them down, so this is good if you want to gain a huge lead. Next up is the boo. The boo can steal an item from a nearby player, giving it to you. Next up is the power star. The star makes you temporarily invincible, making it so you cannot be hit by any item no matter what. Before we get to the most powerful item in the game, we have to talk about the mushrooms. The basic mushroom gives you a brief boost of speed, great for getting past other racers. They come in the single and 3 variety. And there's the golden mushroom, which gives you an unlimited amount of uses of the regular mushroom for a brief period of time. This one's really good if there's a shortcut coming up and you need to build up a ton of speed in a short period of time. Last and certainly not least is the blue shell. This shell hunts down the player in first, taking out whoever gets in its way to number 1. This is really good if you're stuck in 4th or 5th and you want to get rid of the competition. So, we've talked about the courses, the racers, and the items, but what do I think about the game? Overall, I really like the game, although it does have its flaws. The visuals are getting pretty dated, and the game isn't exactly built on a strong foundation. There's glitches everywhere that, while are fun, can make the game a little unbalanced. And speaking of unbalanced, the AI racers rubber band and sometimes even drive straight through walls. However, even with all its flaws, I'm glad to say that this game is an 8 out of 10.